Paige. I am originally from Livonia, Michigan. Moved down to Alabama about 10 years ago. Originally had been fishing. I really got into saltwater fishing. I loved it. 80 miles offshore, caught some snapper, went down to the Keys, caught some mahi there. That was really fun. Then I started getting seasick and I thought, I'm not going to be able to do a career in fishing if I'm always going to be getting sick all the time. So I found a buddy down in Florida and did my first gator hunt. In 2022, I caught my first 11'7" gator. That was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life. From there, I went to Texas and killed my first axis deer, and that was when I really got turned on to deer hunting. I love the thrill of getting up early, getting in the stand, and the adrenaline rush from killing my first deer. I was instantly hooked, and that's when I decided to start deer hunting. I had a buddy that actually was hunting in Kentucky. I went out there September of 22 and shot my first whitetail buck. It was an 8-point, and he's the first one I ever had mounted on my wall. I've been hunting for 5 days. Early season, it is hot in Kentucky. There are a lot of ticks. There are a lot of mosquitoes. I sat there patiently and I thought to myself, well, what am I getting myself into? I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this sitting out early season, but I sat it out for 5 days, and on the 5th day, he stepped out of the tree line right when the sun was setting, gave me a perfect shot, broadside, about 40 yards with my bow, and that was my first whitetail buck. First time I ever got into deer hunting, it was actually fall of 2021, right after I bought my property for my house. Out there with a buddy, with 2 camping chairs and a burlap sack, and we sat there, deer 20 yards in front of us, but I never shot anything because I didn't know what I was doing. After the Kentucky hunt, I was definitely hooked on deer hunting, and I started hunting my own property. I shot my first doe in October, again, early season. I was over the moon about killing my first doe by myself, dragging her back to the house, putting her on the truck, taking her to the processor. I think that after I killed my first doe and drug her back to the truck and put her up in the truck by myself, I feel like that was the moment that I knew deer hunting would become my life. Just being able to get out in the woods by myself, learn a new skill, get the peace and quiet, and honestly talk to God. I knew that this is my new passion. This is my life now. I cannot put into words how grateful I am to be able to hunt my own property, other places around the world. Woods are my safe place. They are where I get off of social media, sit in my own thoughts, look for deer, other wildlife. It's where I feel the most at home. That's where I feel the happiest. That's where I feel like I don't need to worry about the weight of the world, the judgment of the world. It's just me at peace. I was able to purchase my own property. We spent all summer working on it. We put in roads, we put in feeders, we put in quite a few cameras. I found a few on camera that first summer, and I was really excited about that. I didn't think that I'd see deer that quickly. We found a few fawns right there at the end of the summer, coming into early season. Actually did not get my first buck on this property until the rut. Here in Alabama, our rut is a little bit later in the season, January, February time frame. A few encounters, heading down the hill. I'd done a lot of mobile hunting, and I was heading down the hill to kind of just pick a random spot. Found an old rusty ladder stand. I had no idea that it was there. Pulled out my phone to text my little deer group saying, hey, there's an old rusty stand out there. Like, do I sit there? And my buddies were like, no. But you know one thing, old rusty ladder stands mean somebody knew where the deer were at some point. Getting ready to set up, and all of a sudden I saw something move. Sure enough, my 8-point was nosing around in the ground, and I slowly got down on my knee. I didn't go 20. Dropping my first deer in its tracks, where he didn't run at all, it's probably one of the coolest experiences that I've had so far. I looked through my sight to find the deer where he ran off to, and he was already on the ground in front of me, shaking like a leaf. Ran over, and I was so excited. Realized that I have to drag him probably 40 yards up to the top of the hill. Nobody else is around. I did just that. I took off my jacket and my bibs, grabbed a hold of the antlers, and dragged him up the hill. He was heavy, definitely. It was rewarding to drag the deer all the way up the hill I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. My back definitely suffered from that, but it's a moment that I get to look back on. During the rut, I experimented with farm fresh dough estrus. I attempted making a few scrapes. It's not just peeling corn and then putting on makeup and batting my eyelashes. After that season, I decided I want to do something different. Put out 3 food plots, WMS food source, peas, and we're going to start in with clover for the fall. I've also put in a few stands. It's going to be a completely new setup. In addition to putting in all this work on my property, I decided that I wanted to start hunting the rest of the country. This year we're going to be going to Pennsylvania, Missouri, Illinois, Michigan, Oklahoma, and of course back here for the rut in Alabama. So hopefully I get on a few studs and get a lot of footage for y'all. To be able to do this, it's a blessing to me. I wanted to film my first season, but I also wanted to enjoy the moment. For every second in real life, I didn't want to have a camera on my face. And this year I want to be able to not only experience that, but show it to the rest of the world so that everybody can see how much I truly love it, that I'm not just another huntress. I'm out here putting in the work every single day. I'm not just changing camera batteries. I own the property, I'm helping with the food plots, I'm putting the feed out, scouting for deer trails, making scrapes, putting the time in. The world gets to enjoy it with me. This YouTube channel was more for me so that I could document my memories of hunting around the world, be able to look back on that, share it with everyone else, and just a way to get more serious about it. Season 1, I think it's going to be a blast. We're traveling to a lot of different states this year. Hope that everyone enjoys all of my journeys, follow me around the country, hopefully putting a lot of deer on the ground, and I hope to share it with everybody that subscribes.